What is going on, guys? Good afternoon. It's your favorite mortgage lender of Del Co-op Me, Got Mortgages. Man, we have got a lot to talk about. Really, it's been a pretty turbulent first week, or I should say, first month of the year. We have seen a lot of different changes in the market. We've obviously been seeing rates go up, rates go down. Inflation came out. Last week with the CPI report and PPI report. And then we also got some changes in regards to employment earlier. And now we are heading into what is set to be a pretty bouncy week. The stock market took a major dip, right? And we saw a lot of different changes start to occur when we looked at the stock market, right? I think there's a new Chinese AI company that came out that is set to change the dynamics. Basically, one of the biggest companies in the world, $1 trillion, is set to potentially make a huge transition and actually lose out on a lot of market share. So that didn't really help out, but that kind of helps us on our end with the bond market, right? People go from obviously staying away from investing in short-term stocks and things like that and go to long-term interest rates and bonds. But before we dive into what's happening right now, what happened last week, like we usually do? The first thing we're starting to see, guys, is existing home sales. Existing home sales hit a 10-month high, which is great since it was last February, as we can kind of see here. Once again, we got some updates. We saw that the median home price jumped up almost 6% year over year, which is awesome. We also saw a 2.2% month over month. And if we really look at it, where it's at, we're at a 9.03% year over year jump on existing home sales. And then when we look at inventory, surely inventory is slightly down in December, which is not uncommon usually around this time. Who wants to move during the holiday season or really after the holiday season into start of the new year? The market will surely start to ramp up when we start seeing a little bit more inventory start to hit that thereafter. We're at a 3.3 month supply of home, which is very low relative to what we need for a healthy buyer market. 35 days homes on the market, which was initially 32 the prior month. 31% of home buyers were first time home buyers. And I believe I read a statistic also where it was like 26% of buyers last year had essentially purchased in cash, right? Showing you them obviously maximizing on what they sold their homes for. Again, strong report in December, which is great. We do see home sales again typically usually soften, like I just said, during the winter and then kind of get hotter in the spring and the summer. Now, when we look at rental data, that's important for us to look at shelter costs. So that's really what kind of caused some positive data reports when we talked about the CPI report and the PCE report, which we're going to get later on this month. Two government, again, inflation reports that are super important when we talk about tracking the market. Shelter takes up about 46% of core CPI report, which is huge. That was one of the main reasons why CPI actually dropped last month, and really in a big part of what we kind of wanted, right? Initial jobless claims, we're also starting to see a increase on that, which is great. And once again, continuing jobless claims has once again gone and exceeded 1.8 million, just shy of 1.9 million people who are continuously applying for unemployment claims. Okay. And then again, we are going to have starting tomorrow, the Federal Reserve is going to be set to meet. They are set to be obviously more than likely pausing. I don't think we're going to see a cut or we're going to see a hike on interest rates. I think we're going to start seeing a pause. That should set some things into perspective as to just truly what their expectation is. We're going to look at their comments, see if the comments are things that we want to keep in mind of when we looked at these type of data reports. And then again, we'll get the latest on Friday on PCE report, personal consumption expenditure report. That is the Fed's favorite measure in inflation, also known as the Fed deflator. We'll kind of see how that comes in. We will get also updates the following week on December's new and pending home sales, which we just got, and appreciation data. And talking about that, what we could see here again on new home sales rose 3.6%, 28,000, stronger than estimates. Big part two, if we look at it, home sales are up 5.1% from what they were in November and actually up 6.7% year over year. Median home price actually jumped up to 427, which is once again up 6% and 2% year over year. Big jump month over month, right? Obviously, the data is sometimes really mixed up, but it's important for us to see that. And then again, like I had discussed later this week, we'll get on Case Shiller, the FHFA, just home prices. That usually can show you how home prices have been appreciating and jumping up in value. along with the Fed meeting and the PCE report. Now let's kind of see here, how did the market react to a lot of this different data? Obviously, this is a good thing, which is great. If we kind of go back here and see, how have we been since the start of the new year? A little bumpy, but pretty consistent, right? Really teetering anywhere from 7.2 to 7%, kind of really around that quarter of a point, really spectrum of what we want to be. So, again, guys, as always, we'll keep you guys updated. We'll start to see some changes within the market. Hopefully, this will start to really kind of stay consistent. A lot of new executive orders, obviously, we saw really over the last week or so. Some of it geared specifically towards real estate and housing. Hopefully, let's see how that potentially plays an impact. Will we start seeing some of those changes really happen? We saw pretty much, we got our first scare yesterday, I guess you could say, with international policy actually impacting the market, and that quickly changed decisions as it was this week. So keep you guys updated as always. Of course, we're going to keep an eye on all this different data reports. New administration in power should cause some turbulence within the market. We'll hopefully monitor that and take it from there. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Catch you next time.